the Nerd Boy with Nerd Boy PCs, tuning in with another one. I want to give y'all a quick breakdown of DNS. DNS, Domain Name Server, Domain Name System. You can call it either or. The first thing I want to say is, what is DNS? DNS is a server that is, DNS is a server that is on your network that is there to resolve domain names to IP addresses. You see how kind of sometimes you get mixed up when you say you resolves IP to domains? No. DNS resolves domain names to IP addresses. So what that means is, in your browser, you would type in, let's say, google.com, and once you type that in, your computer does not care about google.com. It does not know what it is, right? So what your computer would do is it would reach out to DNS, which is the service on your network, and say, hey, the Nerd Boy just typed in google.com. I don't know what that is. What is that? DNS will give a response to your computer and say, I know what that is. Google.com is 192.10.84.16 or something like that, right? And your computer would say, okay, cool. Now I know what to do with that, right? That's DNS. Just a base. It's like the yellow pages, it's like the old yellow book that we used to have, where we used to try to go and get, where we have an organization that we need the number to, and then we go in the book, and then we'll find the number, we'll find the organization, and then we'll get the number. Same thing, same concept. Only thing is, it's happening on the computer in the background, and we don't get to see it happen, right? But that's DNS. Domain Name System. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and flip to my whiteboard and just give you guys a quick rundown, because a quick draw out, because I don't really get to use this guy, and I like to use this pencil, because this pencil, it's a lot of magic behind this pencil. I don't know how they do it or how they did it, but there's so many things that you can do with this. And I don't get to utilize it the way I want, so I got to start using it, So I'm going to get on the whiteboard, and I'm going to start drawing and stuff and breaking it down a little more, so you guys can have a clear understanding. All right, so stay tuned. I'm about to flip it. Okay, welcome to my blackboard. I am the Nerd Boy with Nerd Boy PCs, tuning in with another one. Now, today we're going to be talking about DNS. What is DNS? DNS is a service, or let's say a server, right, on your network that allows communication between your device and domain names and IP addresses. So, DNS, what does that stand for? Domain Name Server, okay? Or Domain Name System, okay? So, I know you all might be looking at this website address and this IP address, and might be asking, what is this, and, why do we have this here? Well, if you look at this here, www.nerdboy.com is a domain name, right? A lot of us call it a web address, but it's actually a domain, right? So what does that mean? That means that your computer, when you're using your computer, you have to key in www.nerdboy.com or CNN.com, Facebook.com, what have you, right? into your URL, which is your uniform resource locator, so that you can get to a web address or a website, right? Well, what's really happening behind the scene is no one sees it, or you don't see it when you're putting in www dot whatever the address or domain address is it's really a IP address associated with whatever the IP is. Here, I just put 192.168.4.20 because this is just for an example, okay? Now, let's give ourselves a computer here, okay? Let's draw the PC. I'll give this guy a frowny face, okay? Draw the PC here and put some keys here, right? Have your mouse. Now, what's happening here? Your PC, let's say you're using your PC and you're trying to find out, or you're trying to get to www.nerdboy.com. Okay? Now, what's happening? What happens is your computer is trying to figure out the IP address for www.nerdboy.com. But the reason why we use it this way is because as humans, we are not capable, we're not capable of remembering 192.168.4.20, right? We don't want to do that. If we just walk around trying to remember IP addresses, it'd be like a problem, right? So the way it's set up is that we remember domain names because it's easier for us to remember domain names versus IP addresses, okay? So in this case, your computer, you are using your computer and you're asking the computer to take you to www.nerdboy.com. What's really happening is your computer is communicating with DNS, right? And DNS is going to take that information, www.nerdboy.com, and say, hey, I know what that IP address is. That IP address is, let's say it's 10.40.5.6, right? And from here, DNS will provide that information back to you. And now your computer on the network can take that IP address and request from the router, right? It can request the location of 10.40.5.6, which means that it's saying to the network, hey, I'm trying to access 10.40.5.6, which is associated with www.nerdboy.com. That's all that's happening, right? From here, your router is going to say, oh, okay, I know what that is. It's going to go out on the internet, right, in the cloud, right, and find 10.40.5.6, and it's going to get that information out in the cloud on the internet, and then it's going to bring it back to you through the router, and it's going to come back to you, and now you will have the website image on your screen that says you are at www.nerdboy.com or whatever website you're trying to get to, right? Now, just remember that what's happening, DNS, right, is resolving domain names, right, to IP addresses. That's what's happening. Okay? So let's say DNS is somewhat of a translator between your computer and the domain names and IP addresses. That's all. It just sits there and translate all day long. As you key in website addresses, DNS is going to take that website address or domain name and resolve it to an IP, so that way your computer knows what the IP address is, and then from there it'll take that IP, reach out on the internet through the router, it'll request it through the router and say, hey, I'm trying to reach such and such web address, this domain. Can you get me there? The router says yes. I'll go out and get it for you. Give me 1 second, get the information, bring it back to you, and there it is. And now you have the web address. And that's DNS. Okay? So thank you all for joining. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button. I'll catch you all on the next one. Have a great one.